What officer should I be switching and getting in the new upcoming officer event? This is a question that so many people have been asking me, and here is the video to explain the event as who you should be getting moving forward. Let's quickly dive into who you should be swapping first. Now, because not only do we need to talk about who you should be getting, but who should you be removing is the main question. And a lot of people have been saying, do I remove Uncle? Do I remove, Still Fighter? Do you remove any of these people that you just don't use anymore? And the answer is no. Don't remove any of these sort of officers who do still have some decent skills available, or you could just end up using them, whether it be in something like the arena. The best thing you want to be doing, guys, is your number one. The first person you should remove is going to be War Machine. Now, the reason for it, if you're only able to swap one officer and one officer only, you want to be swapping War Machine. And the reason for that is because, as many of you know, you could, in fact, also do Spanner, you could do White Wolf, and you could do Bloody Mary as you get these from the officer missions. Obviously, as you know, when you do these officer missions, let's see if we got any. Yep, there we go. So we managed to get a Sergeant Spanner statue. Now, you can get either of those three officers from these missions. But the only thing is, there is also, once you have them awaken, an event that is called the Officer Memorial. And what that is you can use those tokens or any extra tokens you have to put in and basically get some rewards out. Now, if you was to use one of those three officers, either Spanner, White Wolf, or Mary during the officer switch event, you'll get her back or him back, depending on who you get. You will definitely earn that officer back over time with the officer mission, but it also means you're going to be getting less rewards from the Officer Memorial event. Whereas War Machine, obviously, you can actually get his statues through the Alliance store. And what I would advise you guys doing is just basically removing War Machine. Yes, he's still a decent officer, especially at that lower level. Maybe if you're at a super low level, like you don't even have, 2-3 officers maxed out yet, maybe he isn't going to be the best person for you to get rid of. But if you're definitely someone who is a lot older and you have loads of different officers, this is who you're going to want to prioritize, because you could just get him back using these coins here, and you could get the one skill that you're using him for training very quickly. Whereas it will take you a lot longer to get that one skill back if you're doing it through the officer missions, and you're going to lose out on the officer memorial rewards. Now, who should you be getting? In my personal opinion, you should be getting Gen 4 or 5. I would not go any lower than Gen 4 or 5 unless it's very specific to your setup and your setup only. For example, some older people that are worth potentially getting could be someone like Golden Eagle. He is Gen 2, but he is very, very strong. Then we also have some other candidates that you could go through and just potentially get. I mean, I think he's Gen 3. You don't necessarily need him at this stage of the game. Gen 4, Gen 5 is who you want to go with. I'm just trying to think. I don't think there's actually any other lower gen officers other than Eagle that's really worth still using this stage of the game. I mean, technically, Angel Light is a very, very good officer, and you could potentially get her because at the moment, she is the strongest when it comes to tanking on infantry. But again, probably best not to bother getting her. I would say it is a waste at this stage in the game because there will eventually be a new tanking officer coming out. So, in my personal opinion, I don't think there is anyone worth getting other than Eagle that is below Gen 4. Okay, that's just my personal opinion. Potentially, if you are obviously over here, I do believe Sky Jockey's Gen 4. Yeah, so Sky Jockey's Gen 4, she's definitely worth getting. Any of the newer officers that are, I mean, even Nagarani's Gen 3, she could potentially be worth getting for your setup 100%. But other than that, I mean, there's not really going to be any other officers worth sort of getting in that situation. Now, what I would say, guys, is if you are an artillery main, you want to be focusing on the newer people, like Steel, Frostfire if you want a field one. I mean, Stinger and Argent Flame, they're really good in defense, but that's about it. Out in the field, they're nothing crazy. Even Steel Angel is stronger than both of these in the field. I mean, technically, Eye Providence is Gen 3, and yeah, so Eye Providence is Gen 3. He's still worth getting if you need a base attacking officer. But overall, guys, as I mentioned, it generally comes down to your setup and your setup alone, but I would advise 100% to remove War Machine as your chosen officer, because I think that overall it's going to be giving you the most rewards, that you are retaining rewards either from the officer memorial event or just in general. And then obviously it's also quicker to get War Machine back than it is to get any of the other 3 officers. I would say do not remove in any way, shape, or form. Even if you have, for example, over here, I think someone had Golden Pixie, they had Polar Phantom, and some other really bad air officers, and they said that they were thinking of just removing Pixie for a newer officer. Still don't do that. Even though we know Pixie is very bad, there's no point in getting rid of her, because you do still technically have her skill training that you can use. You know, some of them are okay, they're nothing crazy, but it's still going to help and be better than having no additional training for your air. But with that being said, even your most useless officers that you just don't use anymore, still don't get rid of them. Only focus on the 4 that I mentioned. Obviously, you can only get 2, so you'd only need to use, you know, 1 or potentially 2 out of those 4 officers I mentioned, being War Machine is the number 1. Then either for your second, if you're going to be trading in 2, either then at that point, Sergeant Spanner, White Wolf, or Bloody Mary. Those should be your next option, because you can also get them back through the officer mission. I hope this video kind of helped you guys think about who you want to be swapping, because I saw so many people saying that they were just going to be swapping some of their older officers that they just don't use. Like, some people were saying they were going to remove Valkyrie. If you're a tank main, why are you getting rid of Valkyrie? And that's someone very close to us. He's watching his video now, like, oh, damn, he's calling me out. Why would you get rid of Valkyrie when you're a tank main? Doesn't make sense. She's still good in a tank main setup if you're running 4+ tanks. So, yeah, with that being said, guys, definitely think about who you're getting rid of, and your number 1 priority should be War Machine if you're going for it. Hope this video helped you guys. If you are enjoying it, please think about hitting that subscribe button, also the like button on the channel, and remember to share this to your Alliance members. I'd really, really appreciate it. Hope you all have an absolutely beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.